Oh, Nitpick. We all love Super Mario Bros.
This underrated gem, released in 1985 for the Famicom and Nintendo Entertainment System, is simply put, a classic. Everyone knows or has played Super Mario Bros. It sits as the second best-selling game of all time underneath Wii Sports. But I'm here to tell you the truth, that this game is one of the worst 2D side-scrolling Mario games of all time. Fuck. Thanks to Nintendo and Super Mario Bros., gaming was completely revived in the United States. So all you little tykes playing your No Man's Skies and Grand Theft Autos, let's toast to Nintendo for a minute. Some good ass toast. Super Mario Bros. Not only popularized the side-scrolling platformer genre, which was almost unheard of in console gaming at that point, it was intricately designed to teach players a majority of what they needed to know in the first level of the game. Oh, Goomba gotcha? Need to learn to jump. Oh, I can hit these blocks. What does this conveniently inescapable mushroom do? Whoa, okay. Shigeru Miyamoto, Mario's creator, purposefully designed the game to lead you along without the player feeling like their hand was being held throughout the process. Check it out. They even drew up the levels on paper before designing them. They're like a couple kids living out their game designing dreams. I tell you this because Super Mario Bros. Deserves to be praised. It set the standard for what made a platformer, no, a game, good back in the 80s. And the series itself still continues to surprise and wow people to this day. Now let's complain. Super Mario Bros. Is a lot darker than most think. In fact, let me load up the instruction manual and I'll show you. No, this isn't right. Where's the backstory? Nintendo must be trying to cover it up. Don't worry, I downloaded it. Most Mario games are labeled by the vast majority as a save the princess scenario. But that's an almost insignificant portion of Mario 1. One day, the kingdom of the peaceful mushroom people was invaded by the Koopa, a tribe of turtles famous for their black magic. The quiet, peace-loving mushroom people were turned into mere stones, bricks, and even field horsehair plants. And the Mushroom Kingdom fell into ruin.
That's correct.
Those blocks you brutally destroy, the ground you walk on, and the, field horsehair plants? What? Are people. Living people. And your total score increases every time you take someone's life. I mean, why do you think a mushroom head comes out of a block every once in a while?
Here we go!
The only one who can undo the magic spell on the mushroom people and return them to their normal selves is Princess Toadstool, the daughter of the Mushroom King. Unfortunately, she's presently in the hands of the great Koopa Turtle King. So Mario isn't simply out to rescue the girl, he's saving the entire Mushroom Kingdom from Bowser's spell. Princess Peach just so happens to be the catalyst for recovering the citizens. Talk about objectification, am I right, fellas? This game is sick! Mario, the hero of the story, maybe, hears about the mushroom people's plight and sets out on a quest to... maybe? What, can the game not decide if he's our hero or not? Maybe it's because he's destroying people blocks and munching on decapitated toads' heads. Maybe. It's funny to see Nintendo oversell everything surrounding the universe, too. Little Goomba, a mushroom who betrayed the Mushroom Kingdom. Oh, hey there, little buddy. Koopa Troopa, soldier of the Turtle Empire. His orders are to find and destroy Mario. Aw, they so cute. Princess Toadstool's question mark. Black mushroom retainers? They aren't called toads? Poto Boo. They're balls of fire, Nintendo. This isn't hard. Wait a minute. They're trying to rewrite history. Well, this has to be stopped. Oh, now we're moving on to the secret tricks. This is my favorite. Shh. Oh, don't worry, Mr. Koopa. Your secret's safe with me.
Sorry, guys. Made a promise. Can't do it.
In comparison to future games, you can tell Nintendo was still figuring out how to make jumping fun in Super Mario Bros. When the plumber leaps, players have very little input on his directional influence while midair. For a quick, dirty comparison, here's Mario 3's jumping versus Mario 1's.
Mario Brother versus Mario Brother.
Notice how even from a standstill jump, players have much greater control in Super Mario Bros. 3. The former has much less of an error margin than future entries, making it hard to come back to and enjoy once you've experienced many games after. Well, I mean, yeah, that game just sucked. Alright, grab that and the... What the... Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm just gonna... Why are you still here? A Mario feature that I never understood was the timer. In Super Mario Bros. It sorta made sense, as the game exists in a period where people were still comparing high scores at the local arcade. But with an emphasis on exploration elements, such as the world-skipping warp pipes, hidden blocks with one-ups, and vines, wouldn't it make more sense to ditch the arbitrary countdown? Not only can it be completely ignored 99% of the time since you're given more than enough for level completion, what's up with the second counter? Is there 4 seconds to every real-world second in the Mushroom Kingdom? Well, I guess you could say it's just a hair faster. Other odd choices plague Mario 1 as well, such as the screen being unable to scroll backwards once you've advanced. I thought this feature was included due to technical limitations, but from what I've read, that wasn't the case. Because everything you read online is true. Many believe this was incorporated to make the game an iota more difficult, forcing players to consider their positioning in regards to power-ups and enemies. Personally, while interesting, I find it shows the game's age even more. No other Super Mario bars the player from backward scrolling after the original, so the invisible wall feels more like an afterthought than an actual deep design choice. Whether it's a new mechanic, enemy, stage hazard, or gimmick, Super Mario entries do a fantastic job of keeping players engaged and on their toes. But, the original Super Mario Bros.? Uh-oh, boy. Actually does pretty good. While the visuals can never escape that samey feel, as the game only consists of 4 different palettes, those being the overworld, underworld, ocean, and castle, almost each stage introduces something new for players to accustom themselves to. 8 worlds sporting 4 levels in each inhabit the Mushroom Kingdom. We have the simplistic introduction level, Underworld, Sky Variation, and Castle, where you first fight a fake Bowser for World 1. In World 2, we have vines, springboards, and green Paracoopas that jump on the ground showcased.
The first underwater stage.
Cheap bridge, and a more advanced castle. That's actually some pretty impressive variety. The game was released in '85, but it does falter at times, such as the aforementioned repeated battles against Bowser clones at each world's end. I understand doing this as like a one-off gag for the first world, like, oh, you reached the end of the game, you beat Bowser, but continuing to do this throughout every single world just it feels lazy to me. There's no reason not to have a giant Goomba, Blooper, or Koopa Troopa boss instead of yet another Bowser waiting. Again. Oh, look! He's throwing hammers this time! There's also nothing worse than complete levels getting rehashed while keeping your fingers crossed that players don't notice. Worlds 7-3 and 2-3 are the exact same stage with slight variations in enemy placement. The same goes for World 2-2 and 7-2. I mean, come on, look at this. Best game ever, my ass! So why should you play Super Mario Bros.? The issue with returning to this classic is that, unlike Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros. Doesn't really do anything significant that sets it apart from its successors. What you end up getting stuck with is a stripped down, bare bones version of everything that came after. While I could nitpick all day about various issues such as botched physics, musical repetition, and more, I'd rather do this.
Thank you, Nintendo. Nitpick out.
Hey, you made it to the end! First of all, I'd like to thank my good friend Julian for hooking me up with a Nintendo Entertainment System. You rock, man. Be sure to check out my last video on Pokemon Go, and if you'd like an experience similar to this one, check out my review of the original Legend of Zelda. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for?